Hello, friends. Hi, how are we today? I hope we are all doing well. I am doing fantastic, so much better. In real life, I've had a rough few weeks. Um, Bad things happen in threes, and we had like three threes. It was a lot. But made significantly, no, it wasn't made significantly better. It was a really, really hard 3 weeks. I will get to that eventually, but I am using the most beautiful kit from Dash of Sun, and I love this kit. I think it's so, so beautiful, and I thought it was a really good transitional kit with the colors from April to May. I used a quote box in the top left corner, and it says, "Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning to dance in the rain." And I thought that was a good reminder for the last couple of weeks of my life. But moving on to the bottom washi, I thought this bottom washi looked so much like rain with the beautiful foil detailing that I moved it to the top to make it look like a rain shower down to the bottom. And I'm not sure, like, I really love how that looks. Let me know in the comment down below if you think that that's like too much, too heavy at the top. But yeah, do let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, this is for the week of April 28th through May 4th. Oh my God, I forgot to write in the dates. Well, that's April, 30 days has September, April, June, and November. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, writing it in as we do this video. Not much to write home about regarding like how my week is. I decided to do a scatter. I think for the last week in April, I just went straight across. Yeah, I went straight across because it was that Neopets kit. Oh my God, if you haven't seen that video, you should go check it out. It's just really fun artwork. Like, I had a really, really, really good time with that kit. And this is another week where I didn't have to use day extenders. It was a really low-key kind of a week. A little bit busier through Wednesday and Thursday, as it usually is in my household. But, you know, really nice. And then I just used the to-do headers. And instead of using the deco headers, like I normally would, I pulled in the smaller little dividers just to give myself a little bit more space so that I wouldn't have to use the day extenders. And honestly, I really do love how that turned out. Based on how I'm sounding literally 2.5 minutes into this video, I apologize for my voice. I am getting over yet another illness. This one was really bad. I don't know if you guys have heard of rotavirus. If you have, sorry. And if you haven't, it's essentially Noro, but longer. That's right, folks. Noro, but longer. So, that was outstanding. Anyway, the whole family caught that. We've just been recovering. My dad's been in the hospital again. It's been a whole thing. So, this video I started filming it in the beginning of November, and I was really proud of myself. And we are currently, no, I started filming this in October, and we are currently in the second week of November. We are so slowly chugging our way through. We will get there, I promise. I have 3 more videos to film like that are pulled and ready to go, and then I really have to lock it down. I really do have to pull quite a few stickers because I am doing Plan Miss this year. I don't know if I told you, but I've got a plan for Plan Miss. I have actually got some videos up and ready to go for Plan Miss as well. They're already scheduled. I've already done them, so I'm really like quite thrilled about that. That'll be nice, I think. I'm excited at the very least. So for the sidebar, I just wanted to catch you up on my life, guys. Sorry, I'm a certified yapper. I mean, you would kind of have to be if you have these videos and you have this channel. That's the whole point, right? So in the sidebar, I just pulled in these 2 little habit trackers. I just mark my kids' baths. I don't know why I do that. I started doing that when they were really little. They were taking baths separately at that point. At some point, they'll take them separately again. But right now, they have baths together. It's fine. They're little. And then I just pulled in this currently reading, and I was reading Rekindled by a Canadian author. She does sci-fi, fantasy, dystopian, young adult, and adult. And this is a young adult book, and it's called Rekindled. Very good. Excellent. And then I just pulled in the meals for the week. Moving on to the day by day. So for Monday, I worked in office, and I just pulled in this little laptop icon from Dash of Sun. She doesn't make them anymore, but I still have some sheets to work through, and I love them. I think they're perfect, and they always match her kits, obviously. Then I had my California closets were supposed to be installed. The guy was sick, so he canceled. I just used a fox and cactus icon for that. I went for a lunch walk, 2 kilometers. We ended up at Tim's. I used a squidge from Stick with the Plan Co. And then we took the kids outside to play this afternoon, and they just wanted to stay outside forever. Then it was election day in Canada. I had previously voted on the weekend, but I used another vote paper and milk maru to note that on Tuesday because I had stayed up late to watch the election stuff. I was very tired, and then I worked in office. I just used another laptop icon for that. Then my friend Bex and I went out for lunch or had lunch together that day. I don't know. I just noted it with a knife and fork from the kit. And then I just used these squidge icons again to note more outside play. Then I used a fox and pip icon to note California closets was installed. And then because we had to put everything into the closets, we decided to declutter a ton of stuff and put away a ton of stuff. So to mark that, I used a squish from Fox and Cactus, and then a little mailer to note that I got Sweet Tea Sticker Co. Happy Mail, and I got a Fox and Cactus order. And then I used this leftover hockey icon to note that it was the Leafs versus the Sens. We were up in the series. I was very shocked. And then on Wednesday, I worked from home, so I just pulled in leftovers of these little computer icons. They are also leftovers from Dash of Sun Designs, so they worked perfectly, and they're also foiled. And then I pulled in a leftover shoe icon from the Prairie Planner to note I walked around the crescent at my lunch because I ended up having a lunchtime seminar. I couldn't tell you what it was on. I think this was I know this was a school seminar on this day. And then the poppies and peonies order that I placed had arrived on this day. So I used a Maru for that as well. Then I just had this cute mom and kid icon from the Coffee Monsters Co. to note that I played with the kids this afternoon. And after they went to bed, I walked on my walking pad for 25 minutes. I did 10 minutes of Pilates, and then I filmed my May kit lineup, and the film script is from Magical Sticker Co. and the slates, the filming reels, I guess, are from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. And then I did another film to note that I filmed the base for my October 28th through my November 3rd spread. So that was the first half of my week, which was, I would say, the turbo-loaded half. Then on Thursday, I worked from home on this day, marked it the same way that I have been the rest of the week. Then I submitted the pictures for Sleep Country because my Hush mattress, which if you recall was a replacement for my mattress from Leon's that was awful and that they refused to cover warranty for, even though it was well under warranty. So my Hush mattress also had a bulge in it, which was so weird because they explicitly said that wouldn't happen because it doesn't have springs in it. Then I got my first call from my kid's school to note that he bumped his head. He was fine. I took a lunch walk to Dollarama, and then it was a really rainy day, so I just used a squidge from Stick with the Plan Co. to note that. I changed the sheets on the beds, and then the Leafs played the Sens, and we won. So, very exciting. We won the series. Great, fantastic news. I don't want to talk about the rest of it. Moving on to Friday. On Friday, I started my day by emptying the dishwasher, and then I did a little bit of budgeting, so I guess Thursday must have been payday. Then I worked from home on this day, and again, the laptop, instead of having like the foil dots on it, just has a foil heart on it, but it's still foily and it's still from Dash of Sun Designs. And then my big thing for the day was I went for a manicure over my lunch hour, and my manicurist was fantastic and got me to just under an hour. She was wonderful. She's the best. Might have to go see her today. Then on Saturday, our big thing was going to Sleep Country. They totally exchanged the Huss mattress. They came to pick it up another day, but they went to the store just to confirm which one that I had, and then they did drop off and pick up like in a couple of days after this. But they were super, super, super good about it. They're like, this should not happen. It's a fluke. And so they exchanged our mattress totally for free and just confirmed that we didn't want a different mattress. So it was all fantastic. Then we went over to my friend's house and Beck's house, and we helped her clean up her yard and her patio. She just, emotionally was going through it. So she loves to be outside. She hadn't used her space in a couple of years. It was really overgrown, and we were like, you know what? We love gardening, and my kids love pulling up weeds. We had a good time. Then we had an impromptu play date with our neighbor, which happens a lot, and that is a Fox and Pip play date icon. And then my big kid, my potty training saga, he chose to go to the washroom on the toilet, and that was like a very big deal for us. We celebrated all night. And then at the very end of it on Sunday, we went to the garden center. We took the kids to Toys R Us, and then we had another play date. And that was the entire spread. I had a really good time with this one. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Toodles, friends!